Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 9 of the Ready Up podcast. As always, my name's Niall. I'll be the host of this episode. Joining me today, as always, is young Bobbert, the bald bearded bruiser, Bobby Boucher. Bobby, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Bit tired. So this week, it's been quite an eventful week. There's been the launch of the PlayStation VR. Sony had a pretty bad showcase, or a Sony Direct. And Bobby has been balls deep in Age of Empires, and I've tried some VR, so we have some impressions coming up for you. But other than that, Bobby, how was your week off?
It's fucking flew-in, you know what? It's absolutely flew-in. I'm dreading it, going back to work now.
What have you done? Like, what's the highlight of the week?
Age of Empires. That's pretty much it. I've been fucking balls deep in it. And Hogwarts as well. Finished Hogwarts last night. The main story.
Did you watch any more Harry Potter?
I'm on Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. What's been your favourite so far?
Probably the third one.
Third one's great.
First two is definitely like really cringy. Watching back, like really cringy.
Do you know who directed the first one? The first and two?
No, you're the movie man, so.
Chris Columbus. Do you know who that is?
No.
Directed Home Alone. So that was him, yeah. Okay. A Yank. And then the third one.
Very cheesy.
Yeah, third one was directed Alfonso Cuarón. He done Gravity. Was it good? He did Gravity. Maybe he didn't do Gravity. I think he did do Gravity. And then he's done a few other things, but he's really good. The third one's brilliant with the whole time travel element.
Yeah, it'll definitely take like a wee bit of more of a darker, more adult tone like in the third one compared to the first two.
I remember as a kid being like, don't really like it. And I loved 4, but now I've watched it. I watched it all last year and 4's a bit ropey. Kind of.
Yeah, I don't think I was big on 4. But then I watched it. I've only watched the start of it there this morning. No, last night actually. I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning watching it. Are
you watching it with Demi or just watching it alone?
No, just myself.
Bit sad.
Because we have our own TVs. So.
Tell everyone this. Actually, I don't know if we've told you on the show this.
We have. I think it was one of the episodes Kieran was on. We talked about it.
Jesus Christ!
It's just the benefit of it.
Well, you could have had, instead of getting the TV, you could have had your VR headset on, mate. Just did that. Which we can obviously talk about. So look, you've been playing Age of Empires, so tell us a bit more about that. So you've kind of relapsed here because you were on it and then you were off it and then you've kind of went all in again. What's happened there?
I don't know. I think it's just being on with my mates. We've been kind of practicing against AI and we're gradually even adding more AI to it and then upping the difficulty until we can basically molest that difficulty with these and then we move it up. And then we went online. We done a rank match first. Got absolutely destroyed. Tore a new arsehole completely. And then we went just the normal online. We won that game. It was fantastic. And then the second game we done online was a bit more trickier. We ended up getting beat. But it's just it's that kind of progression, just constantly getting better. And each time I play, I'm learning something new.
I think that's a good way to be, yeah.
Do something different, yeah. So it's want me to play more because I am learning every time I play. I'm playing with my mate Tim who watches the show and he's keeping secrets from me. I don't know what he's keeping, but he has a way higher score than everybody else at the start of the game. And he says he's not doing anything different, but he's doing something. Right.
So talk me, have you got like a plan that you do at the start? Because there's a meta. I think I may discuss this.
Well, no, I usually you've only played it on console, haven't you? So have you used the wee economy wheel? Do you use that or do you do manual?
So that's what I mean. There's like a meta. And maybe Tim knows this. I don't know how
he does it manual, so he does something.
Right. So what the whole we've ended this, I think, anyway. So at the start,
briefly, yeah.
Yeah. So at the start, you have 3 villagers. What you do is you spawn 2 extra villagers to hit 5, which is your starting limit. You put 2 on one house and 1 on the other house, and then I believe you go from there. And the ones that are spawning, you start to get them to start gathering from the animals that your scout finds.
Yeah, the animals you try and kind of.
And then you get your boars over and shit. So there's a starting layout that people kind of stick to.
I do kind of do that there, gather them all around and build houses and things like that. Maybe not the exact way like that, but I do that. But he's doing something different because his score, by the time we get to the feudal age, castle age, he's thousands, a couple of thousand above us in score. He's doing something different.
See, talking about it makes me want to play it, but I'm at the part now, mate, because I haven't played it in 2 weeks. I know if I go in today, for the first 5-10 minutes, I'm going to be like, what's the buttons again? Fuck. I want to play it though, but I'll see if we can get one after I'm shattered. But
it's so fun.
It is. It's unbelievable. Fun. So you're on PC though?
I've been on PC the past 2 days and I'm enjoying it. I didn't think I would because, to be honest, I'm kind of missing the economy wheel because you don't have that on the computer. It is just manual.
What's making you go to PC though?
I don't know. I was thinking about streaming it,
Right.
and so obviously you need a PC, like if you want to do it properly.
You can just put it on like a controller though and play it that way in the PC, can you not?
No, it's not. It doesn't have. I thought it would have had controller support similar to Xbox, but it doesn't.
Strange.
You can get like software for it, but it's not the same because you don't have the. It's the economy wheel that I'm missing. That's pretty much it. But I'm learning to, obviously do everything manually, and it does work really well. Clearly, doing it manually, but
why no Age of Empires 4?
They don't have PCs.
Okay, so you're doing a crossplay then?
Yeah. I will happen on. I'll probably be on Xbox tonight, but PC version's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's really good.
No,
Age 4. I actually stuck on Age 4 just to test it out because I did play it a few months ago, or just to try a wee bit of the campaign. But now I kind of know the ins and outs of the game. Stuck it on, and it is so good. Like, it's a big graphical upgrade, like, compared to 2. And I can't wait till it comes to Xbox. It's going to be huge.
What we'll do maybe after, mate, is who's going on? So just you and Kieran?
No, there's Steve's going on, and Tim.
Right, I'll try and get on, and then that's fair enough. I'll try and get on. I will get on. I'll just fucking get on after this.
No, well, that'll be what, 1, 2, 3. It'll be 5 of us.
Yeah, it'd be a good crack.
Me and Tim versus you 3.
Here, go for it. Go for it.
It's. But see the map. We've been doing this map now that we actually done it first online. That's how we kind of discovered it. So it's a map where your team's on one side, the enemy team's on the other, and there's a massive forest in between you.
Right.
You just have to break through the forest with like catapults to get to each other.
Right. Okay.
But it's that whole tenseness of you're building up your armor, you don't know whether they're going to come, and then it's when you start hearing the boom, boom, boom of the catapults destroying the forest, and you're kind of looking right, like, where the fuck are they coming from? And then you just see the big tunnel coming through.
So you're fully obsessed, like.
Oh, I love it. See that there? It was because we done the way it was in the online game is it was me, Tim, and another mate, Ryan. We were on that map, and the enemy team wrote something. I don't know what it was. It's some sort of fucking cryptic thing about a wonder. Now you can, if anyone doesn't know, you can win by building a wonder and having it. I think it's 300 years. You have to keep it standing for. You get the automatic win. So we were sitting panicking, like, are they going to build a wonder? Is that what they're going to do? Instead of coming through to us or us coming through to them. So we left it anyway because we were kind of like, we don't want to win that way. We want to win by beating them properly. War. But then 2 seconds, I think it was like 5-10 minutes later, they put it up. It came up, popped up on the screen that the enemy team's building a wonder. So I had the most population out of all of us. So I threw one up. I ended up getting mine up before them.
What population were you on? Do you remember your villager level?
I think it was 110 or something.
Right.
So I ended up building the wonder before them. And then all you heard was a boom, 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 them coming through to get us. So we had to get our armies to like meet them in the middle. It was like something out of fucking 300. You're kind of having to just trying to hold them off. They ended up pushing us back and back and back. So we and Tim, we built loads of castles around the
wonder. I've seen this. You sent the picture in, yeah.
Yeah, I sent the picture in around the wonder to defend it, and I had armies defending, and we had villagers trying to get more food and gold at the same time to create more. We ended up winning. But it was like it was fantastic. Like, it was so much fun.
No, I'm hyped. I want to play it now. I still want to play Age of Empires 4 or Age of Empires 4. When you said about that, I was like, oh, if we're going to play PC, I would play 4.
Your skills will transfer over to 4. Like, it's very much similar. It's just kind of, there's new buildings and things like that there, and new things you can do to your buildings. You can kind of upgrade. There's certain buildings you can add like cannons and things to.
Yeah,
as extra defense. But I'm usually quite a defensive player. But I think when you're playing online, you have to kind of change things up a bit.
And did you try anything else, or was it just Age of Empires 4 you played?
I just tried to beat Age of Empires 4, been flat out on Age 2, and then I beat Hogwarts, the story, last night.
Verdict there? How much side quests and shit did you do in the Hogwarts?
I've done most of the main side quests, if you want to call it, the companion side quests. You got Sebastian, you've got that fucking annoying cunt, Natty, and then you've got Poppy.
Who's Poppy? Can you remember Poppy?
Poppy's he's a Hufflepuff. You do like it's very much creature side quests for her. Oh, quite good. No, they get good.
I admit I need to go back to it, but I just wasn't in the mood, honestly.
I think that's why I started watching Harry Potter, to try and push me on to get me in more in the mood. And it actually did work.
Did it? No, I probably would, but to be fair, I'll go back to it. I'm just kind of wonder when.
The main story it's all right, like it's serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
It actually picks up. Kieran actually said this here, and it is true. It picks up the last 40 minutes.
That's good, isn't it? The last 40 minutes it get good.
Last 40 minutes it gets good. But what I find, I know you've done a few of them yourself, is the trials.
Yeah.
The map chamber. I hate them. I think they're boring as fuck. It's very repetitive.
Yeah. Not to kind of stop you there, but I know that you probably did the notes today, by the way. So in terms of the news, which is fine. The only thing that isn't in this that I kind of want to talk about, I just double checked there. So 12 million units sold.
Yeah, I was going to just bring that in. I was going to bring that into the next thing. So 12 million units sold already in 2 weeks.
That's insane, isn't it?
That's fucking class.
So there you go.
All them fucking ball bags that were protesting it clearly didn't work.
That's it. Well, here, do you hear about Road Dahl? You hear the newest here?
Oh, mate, I just shared this video to the other boys there. Isn't that mental?
Sky Demons? What's it? Sky Demons? Them?
Sky people. It's Sky people instead of Sky men.
Fuck me.
In case the clouds get offended that they want to change gender or something. It's instead of the Oompa Loompas, they're described as short, small people or something rather than short, small men. In case do you want to change gender or they don't identify as a man.
Bonkers.
Black tractor can't be used. It's not called black tractor anymore.
What's it called?
That's racist.
What?
It's just described as there's a black tractor in one of the books. That's how it's described, as a black tractor.
The fuck's happening there?
Black. Yeah. Can't use ugly as well to call women. Can't call like women ugly. I think it was the one
Where's you fucked?
The old woman from Matilda. You know that old woman?
What old woman? Oh. Miss Trunchbull?
Something. Aye. So she's like described as like an ugly horse face or something like that there.
Yeah.
Got the ugly bit out or something. Because you can't call girls ugly.
You call a girl ugly? You were calling Bella Ramsey ugly on the Last of Us podcast.
Oh, I'd still do it. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. Someone's ugly, they're ugly.
And what was your thoughts of the Last of Us show, by the way? Just to kind of touch on that as well.
Yeah, so I texted you and I was like, what do you think about it? You said there's a lot missing. I can't remember because I actually think when I played it, I rushed through it because the gameplay was so boring. So I thought the episode was fine. But yeah, now that you've pointed out, there's a lot missing. There is a lot missing. And there's only 3 episodes left, and the next episode's left behind.
I don't know if we should get into a wee bit more here, or because obviously we're still talking about Hogwarts, and I just went here, what about The Last of Us? So don't have to be kind of... We'll talk about it in a second. We'll go back to Hogwarts then. So what would you rate it out of 10?
7.
A 7? It's not that high, is it? Really, realistically? What do you not like about it?
I think it's too big.
That's kind of what I've said. Too big.
There's too many things to do, and I know obviously people's going to love that. They're at this end of the world, all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to sit and do 95 Merlin trials.
Are you like a young white girl with her first BBC and you just don't know a way to take it? You don't want to be badgered too hard.
I don't mind. You
don't mind me BBC?
No, I don't mind a good open world, but it's just there's too much shit. There doesn't need to be 95 fucking Merlin trials. Half that down at least. Maybe add another 40 of something else or another 20 of something else. But it's too big. I think it needs to be a wee bit more condensed to bring that score up for me.
It was the systems that started getting me. There's too much of systems. I think we even said this last week. At least, if you think about Ghost of Tsushima, kind of happened organically doing a lot of the side shit. I was kind of just going there and I was like, I'll just go here. Rather than this, it's just Ubisoft fucking bang.
Yeah, it's exactly like the new style Ubisoft games.
It's a bit overwhelming.
So much to do. And I think it takes away from the game, to be honest. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Just give me loads of story. A couple of collectibles. Be
good if it was like you're a fucking child and you'll get a lot of games bought for you, but realistically in the days of Game Pass now and even PlayStation Extra and stuff, we don't need... honestly, do we need games to be more than 40 hours max? Do you know what I mean? I don't think games shouldn't be that. Even God of War I had problems with being too big in a way. I know you're probably like, no, it was perfect, but
no, give me more.
But even like that was
God of War is a perfect open world game in my opinion.
It's manageable.
It's semi open world. It's mostly linear, but you can kind of go off. But it's not it's not Ubisoft. It's not huge. It doesn't overwhelm you with stuff to collect. It gives you just the right amount, the right balance.
And then you can have people saying, well, it doesn't detract from the rest of the game having all that. But then you're thinking, if they're putting in a lot of dev time doing all that side shit, just make the main game better.
They could have polished it, I think, a lot better and took some of that stuff out and used that time to polish it, because there is a lot of textures, even now, still, that look kind of meh.
I mean, long gone are the days I want to spend 100 hours in a game doing The Witcher or something like that. I couldn't. I think I'm just past that now.
The centaur you meet in Poppy's side quest looks like he's been drawn with a crayon.
Yeah.
Bad, it's bad. Most of the game is good. Like, I had a real bad fucking frame rate issue last night when on a certain fight in a certain part of it.
Really?
Really, really bad. Yeah. I must ask Kieran, because he's obviously done that part of the fight, but it was really, really bad. Like, I mean, unbearable. Like 10 frames.
With the sequel, then, I wonder if they're just going to keep on growing on it. Essentially, more systems, for fuck's sake.
Like, what would you do in like a sequel? Because it would have to be, obviously the story is going to be different, like in terms of the whole mad kind of ancient magic shit.
I think just go straight to Harry Potter series, remake them for the game.
I want a sequel in game form. That's what I would want.
A Harry Potter sequel?
Harry Potter. Yeah.
That'd be quite cool. I just want to, like, at the end of the day, I mean, I haven't finished it, but the story I was actually happy enough with the story. It was just, it was too bloated.
It's fine. I think it's, well, we're going to get into it in the news.
Yeah.
But actually, do you want to just bring it in now when we're talking
just
about
bring it, yeah, because it makes sense. So there is a news item here. It's actually, it's going to be item 7, which I'll remove now, but basically Hogwarts Legacy has a HBO show rumored. According to Giant Freaking Robots, trusted and proven sources, a Hogwarts Legacy TV series is in development at HBO Max. As for more details, sadly there aren't any. There's no word on whether or not the show will focus on the events of the game, or whether it's going to explore a different path. It's also unclear what the cast of characters will look like and who the protagonist will be. These reports inspire many questions that will hopefully be answered by an official announcement sooner rather than later. So, Bobby, what's your thoughts on a Hogwarts Legacy show?
I think this would be fucking awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I think the story is really good, but I think it's all that kind of repetitive stuff of doing the trials that kind of sets it back for me. I think they could do something in TV form that would be fantastic. And it's HBO as well, so we know that they can pump out the quality for it.
Do you know who owns HBO?
No.
So let me just have a wee double check here. So who owns, I don't want to say Warner Brothers.
Right, okay. So it's very believable then that this would happen.
Would you rather them do a Hogwarts Legacy? Would you rather take them the Harry Potter books and make them into a series? Because there is an awful lot missing out of the Harry Potter movies.
I actually watched a wee video on that earlier. There's quite a lot missing out of the books over to the movies. There's like a couple of professors and stuff missing too.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting.
It would be a long ass series.
Fuck, well, you do one series per book, maybe even a few for the last book. But I think it makes more sense probably to do Hogwarts Legacy at the moment. I think still very fucking Harry Potter's still a bit kind of fresh in everyone's mind, the movies, you know what I mean, and even the books. So that makes sense. I'm surprised HBO haven't done it before though. But HBO quality, mate, they're fantastic. So I would actually believe, I would trust in HBO. Obviously they're doing Last of Us, which is good.
No, definitely like 100%. I think it would be good, because I do think if they did do the story, I think it'd be a cracker story. I think it's taking out all that shit of doing the trials and stuff.
What
like
you want to see?
Gameplay.
Episode 7, he's trying to complete the 91 Merlin trials.
Oh, brutal, unbelievably brutal.
What's it the wee flute powder woman says? How did people get around before me?
She's a cunt.
What's it?
Fucking off on another adventure every time you walk past the bastard.
And what's the one about Hogsmeade he says?
Oh, Hogsmeade, all roads lead to Hogsmeade. There's nothing fucking cozier than Hogsmeade or some stupid shit like that. So annoying. It's like all the time.
So yeah, that'll be coming to HBO hopefully. We'll see. I think I would be interested in Harry Potter, but that's just me. I don't think it makes business sense at this stage at the moment. I think do a Hogwarts Legacy spin-off. They're doing House of the Dragons kind of a spin-off, obviously, with Game of Thrones based on a book. And it's actually probably, I like it right now more than Game of Thrones. I'll probably be slaughtered for saying that, but It's just the last series of Game of Thrones, it kind of ruined me a wee bit. So we'll take that. Actually, now that's kind of good transition into The Last of Us. Now, if anyone hasn't watched this week's episode of The Last of Us, skip forward a few minutes. We're not going to dwell too much on it. But Bobby, what I ended up doing is I got Lindsay to start watching through the gameplay of the game. Sorry, the movie that I sent in, which is like a 3 hours cutscenes of The Last of Us game. And I started after this episode. So this episode I had some problems with. As there's some things I liked. I like seeing Jackson, which isn't in the game at this stage. But they keep cutting out all the combat. There's literally, what the fuck? There's literally no tension at the moment. There's no combat. So we'll have at the dam, there's supposed to be a fight scene with the Raiders. Then we'll have a fight scene again when Ellie escapes to a house where Joel finds her on the horse. And there's a whole fight there. And it's just, there's no combat. And then obviously the most important bit, at the hospital, which I think is a great scene in the game, but in the film or in the show, it was just very much like, what? Right?
Very quick. Yeah.
What was your impressions?
Do you think that they've made a mistake by trying to condense the whole game into one season?
Well,
do you think that's maybe the issue?
The thing is, I don't think it's an issue with doing that. It just feels like they are adding in shit that's probably not too relevant.
Yeah, like the episode 3.
Like episode. Why didn't we like, it was a good episode for the grand scheme of things, but why didn't they just give us episode 3 from the game where you're going into the school and at least there's some sort of kind of action?
Yeah, like I'd rather have all that there between Joel and Ellie than have a whole episode dedicated to 2 hairy gay men.
Willy touching, as you said.
Yeah, Willy touching, fucking aggressive beard touching. Like nobody. Well, maybe
aggressive beard touching. What are they tugging each other's beards?
It was like they just come together like really fast.
All right. Because what I'm having a problem with now is Ellie and Joel are like getting a wee bit bonding, and I'm like,
there's that whole gap that the TV, we obviously know the relationship is built up, but obviously people on the TV, there's this whole gap of the relationship that they've built throughout the whole, from that last episode till now. 3 months. And
then it's kind of like, well, what? I don't buy it. Yeah. I don't really buy it at the moment, you know what I mean?
Because it's a completely different like relationship now. They're a lot closer.
And is Ellie still, is she still selling Ellie for you?
I still like her as Ellie. She's not my Ellie, but she's doing as good of a job as anybody could do, I suppose.
I think it's a hard shoes to fill. I think he's doing a great job with Joel anyway. I do like him as Joel.
Yeah.
But he's still not Joel.
No.
So the big problem was, as soon as I watched obviously that episode, the next night I put on the gameplay and I was like, oh my God, like I'm at the stage now where you're going to meet up with Bill, and it's just the way Joel and Ellie are, mate. Ellie is way better. Joel has a lot more layers to him that you can see in the performance in the game is better than the performance in the show. Honestly,
fantastic in the game, like the mocap and all.
The minute detail. Obviously, they looked and goes, right, we need to get this exact kind of emotion portrayed. But holy fuck, see, like, and my problems in episode 1, for example, about at the very end, they find out that she's infected and they just kind of, oh, you're infected, and then walk away. I was sitting going, that's not right. They should be going nuts. They did in the game. I just couldn't remember. So in the game, when they're pointing a gun at her and all, like, what the fuck's going on?
The situation that they were in that end of episode 1 was they had to run, so they couldn't.
But they have to run in the game as well.
Do they?
Yeah, because they're getting chased.
I can't remember. I'm actually going to do the Left Behind DLC over the weekend because I've near finished it.
I think you should actually get Demi to watch that play because it cuts out the game.
Is Lindsay watching it with you now? Like,
yeah, it cuts out a lot of the gameplay.
What does she think
so
far? Did she find it weird having to watch a video game? Because I said to Demi about that, and she was like, "Why would I do that?" And I was like, "No, it's really
it cuts the gameplay out apart from the parts that they're talking to each other."
Aye.
So we'll cut out combat. I'll show you maybe a fucking, what do you call them? A clicker and stuff here and there. Yeah. But it's good, especially because you've watched the show and then it's good because you've just watched the show and you're watching like kind of an abridged version. But Lindsay was watching it and she didn't say too much, but I could tell she was in there. She was like, don't know. But I knew she was.
Into it, but just kind of brushing it off way back because it's a game. She doesn't want to let you know that she actually likes it.
Yeah. But Rand, my mate, had said the reason they're holding back, and spoilers for the game, it's not going to be major spoilers, but it'll make sense to people who have played the game. So skip ahead 30 seconds. Ryan had said that it's all building up to the hospital scene. That's why they're not doing any combat. I'm like, no.
This has me worried for season 2.
In what sense?
The big scene.
Oh, okay.
Like, how are they going to tackle that there if they're already not showing a lot of violence and stuff?
That's it. There's no violence.
Because that is a big scene. Like, how are they going to do it? Or are they going to do it? Are they going to fucking completely deviate from it? Are they too scared to do it?
I don't think they'll deviate, man. Maybe they won't. I don't think they'll deviate. But
imagine they did. Imagine the fucking shit show if they went completely different direction.
some people love it, mate. For people hate fucking.
Some people would love it.
People hate it.
It would be interesting, but the story would completely change.
And which people will probably love. I think it's very. A lot of people didn't like that game. Like I liked it. I think it made sense.
The start, it was kind of like, oh come on, like it was like rough. It's grim. It was a rough scene, like. And
that's what I love. I love doing that.
They're not going to do that scene for scene, like they couldn't do it.
Well, we'll see, won't we? So look, maybe next week's will be better. Obviously, next week is, I think they're doing the Left Behind DLC for next week.
It is the Left Behind, so I'm going to finish it. I've got the medicine, so I'm kind of on my way back to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And in the story, in the flashback bit where you're Black Girl and her, I've got to the bit where I think all the infectors just kind of broke in. They were kind of on like a table in the kist.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to that. That's the bit that I can remember. So I've maybe 2 hours left at most.
Well, I think we don't talk about it, because if anyone's not watched the show, and if we're talking about it next week, we can actually, it's actually perfect if you beat it whilst you beat it for next week with the show. We can kind of go into that.
Because I kind of know what's going to happen, obviously, but I don't want to be completely spoiled.
So
TV.
Yeah, well, I've only played 2 things this week, so I've been playing a bit of FIFA as well, which I'm not into because it's FIFA. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. You haven't played it since 2014. So we're kind of waiting for the VR a lot. Got it yesterday, but I wanted to play a wee bit of Atomic Heart. A lot of kind of people are loving it, people are hating it. So downloaded it, stuck it on. Bobby, remember I said this is going to probably be a terrible on console. Surpassed expectations. It looks phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. But it does, like, I put it on and you're in a wee boat and you're kind of going through this world, and it's very Bioshock vibes. But straight away something started to annoy me. It's one of those games where if you think, did you ever play Cyberpunk?
I would play a wee bit of it at the start.
Maybe The Witcher done this maybe as well, where people are talking have text above their head.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Do you ever see this in games?
Yeah.
But the text is tiny and you can't change the size. And the text is tiny. All subtitles.
Accessibility fucking gonna be all over that.
All the subtitles are tiny. All of them. And I'm like, this, what the fuck? It's actually like, I don't know how this was an oversight. It is fucking tiny. So play it on. A lot of context, a lot of backstory and shit that was kind of fed at the start was a bit kind of maybe too much. I think Bioshock does it better when you go, if you obviously play Bioshock Infinite and things, it's kind of feeds you information as you go, whereas this kind of starts dumping information on you. But played a wee bit of that. I would say good vibes. You can tell where people are maybe a wee bit meh on it. But the more I played, the more I was getting into it and starting to kind of go, okay, I could get behind this world. And it does a very, spoilers for the first 15 minutes. There's a scene where you're kind of lifted off this area that you're in by a flying vehicle and you're in the sky. And I was like, okay, it's Bioshock Infinite. They're trying to be here. But then you go back down to the world. So I haven't played a lot of it. And to be fair, I haven't probably played a lot to give it proper impressions. But I got a bit of gameplay and the combat shape. So that's the only thing. Yeah, it's a bit jank. A bit of jank.
It doesn't see, it looked quite good, like from all the trailers. It looked quite interesting.
No, I haven't had a gun yet. I've had a swinging weapon, but it just feels a bit stiff. But right now I'm liking it. I actually wanted to play more than that, but if we're hopping on AoE. But the thing is, it's like, from what I'm reading, a lot of people say it starts off a 9.5 out of 10 and then it drops off a cliff. But I'm going to stick with it. But I don't want to get into too much because, to be fair, I don't have even that much information because it's like an hour intro. But my initial impression's quite high, but I'm worried. And then especially when people were saying that it does drop off a cliff. But people were saying the protagonist is very annoying. I thought he was all right. I didn't find him annoying. I didn't find he was kind of, people were saying that he talked.
Is he Russian?
No. But a gorgeous game. It is a gorgeous game. Especially the first area. When you went down to the next zone, it didn't look as good. But I'm going to play it a bit more this week and hopefully have better, more in-depth impressions for next Friday. And if I don't like it, I'll just stop playing it. Simple as that. So that's literally only put about an hour in last night. So I won't be into too much detail. Have you any questions regarding it that I might be able to answer? 1 hour in?
No, I don't think I'm going to try it.
Really? Why not? Why do you want to give it a go?
I don't know. I just don't think it looks like it's my kind of game.
You've never really played BioShock, so haven't you not?
No, I tried. I played maybe a couple of hours of Infinite.
When was that?
Maybe around when it came out.
Made that game fucking like,
I was playing it in work on night shift, so kind of on and off it, and then I never went back to it.
That game blew my fucking mind. Honestly, blew my mind, and that was getting rave reviews. So BioShocks, I love BioShocks. Hopefully they come to VR. That would be unreal. So yeah, probably what I would like to talk to you about the most. So Bobby and me delved in and got the VR. Obviously, we were talking about it last week. So let's tell me a bit more about our experience. So the PSVR came out on the 22nd, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Bobby's was shipped. Now, Bobby pre-ordered his a month before. You pre-ordered in November.
Yeah.
Mine was December. Then we had to both buy the controller docks, which is the charger controllers, because they're kind of...
We bought, was it last week? Friday?
Last Friday, yeah.
When we talking about it?
So I had a whirlwind of mess here. So first of all, you got your shipment email.
Yep.
That yours was shipping, and that was on like the Sunday.
Yep, the VR this is, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get any. And I wasn't panicking because I'll be honest, I was quite like tepid on it. I was like, I'm not really fussed. I was in kind of like, I don't want to play games mood. Okay. So you ended up getting yours out I ended up, it was launch day. I still didn't have any email, but then I went on to Reddit, and supposedly with Sony Direct, which is an absolute nightmare, everyone wasn't getting their emails who ordered a certain edition or just a soulless, right? But there was a workaround that if you go on to the Sony website, you press F12 and go into inspect, that you can get a shipment code even though it hasn't updated to said shipped. Now I done this, and fair enough, DPD had my package and it was out for delivery. So I was thinking, great, I'm off today. I can get my PSVR and I can play it. So it didn't come, and Bobby was freaking out because yours was saying it wasn't out for delivery, but then it updated.
Yeah, so mine was due on that day. It did say it was coming today, and then all of a sudden it changed
right
to tomorrow, to the day after. So it would have been yesterday. Then I was looking out the window just before I had to go pick a kid up from school. I was looking out, seeing the DPD. I know the DPD driver, so
we order
driving into the street.
We order.
Arthur, I actually pretended to be him one time. It was funny as fuck.
I hope he doesn't listen to this.
So he came in, started going down the houses. He was going house from house. I actually think someone else might have got a VR.
Really?
It looked like the VR size box, yeah. But he went house from house, and I was like, he's coming down my way. And then I was texting you at the same time. I was like, he's coming down my way. And I was like, possibly turning. I don't know.
Right.
And then he stopped, opened the thing, came over with a box. And I was like, it's not a VR. That's not a fucking VR. Too small. And then I was like, well, I suppose it would fit around your head. Opened it. VR charger.
Yep. So what ended up happening, by the way, is everyone on Reddit was having a panic attack because if you go on the DPD's website, yours was fine, and this is why you got the email. By the way, you had the full address. I just had my street, and this happened to everyone, and everyone was like, oh, DPD don't have our information. So it was kind of all panic of this. In the end, I think it was fine, but I ended up getting the charging dock as well. So sitting there at charging dock and no fucking VR headset.
How fucking stupid is this, like, of Sony? The only place that they force you to buy it off PlayStation Direct, and they can't even deliver it to you on the day it's out.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And it is possible to do because I'm a courier and I know what way it works. They can have them sitting in the depot a week before saying do not deliver until 22nd.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. It's a fucking faff.
It's a fucking joke. I was panicking about this the whole time because I seen with the DualSense Edge controller this was happening. People weren't getting it till a day or two after, and I'm like, why force your consumer to buy it off you if you can't guarantee them day one?
No, I wasn't extremely excited. You know, like if this was a brand new PlayStation 5, man, I'd be raging. I was kind of like, right, whatever. I was very...
To me, it's just the whole point of it. Like, if you're forcing us to buy it there, like, fucking get it to us on the day.
Delivery. No, you're absolutely right. So, we ended up getting it on the first day, yesterday. And Bobby hasn't opened this. So it was all this and he doesn't even open it. What the fuck?
I haven't opened it.
So I've been kind of keeping quiet and just like right at the end of the day. So in my head, I'll tell you exactly what I was thinking. I was sitting going, now Bobby, by the way, to kind of give people a bit of background on this, I originally didn't pre-order it. Bobby did.
Yeah, I did.
Bobby,
I was near enough the same week the pre-orders came out. I pre-ordered it.
Bobby convinced me to pre-order it.
I did.
Now Bobby's refusing to open this. But I actually like VR, so I don't mind anyway. But what's stopping you from opening this fucking console?
How does it feel being on the other end of it? Because usually it's you convincing all your other stuff, and then
you convinced me. Listen,
now you've got someone to buy you to convince you.
Steam Deck, you maybe convinced me to buy. Series X, and now this
PSVR 2.
No, I don't mind.
Expense.
I don't mind. I'm a gamer. I play. At the end of the day, I like having new shit. If fucking Nintendo comes out with a new Switch next week, who's going to pre-order? 100% me.
Oh, I'll pre-order too.
Do you know what I mean? You'll fucking sit there waiting to return it. But yeah. So what's happening here? Why haven't you opened it?
Honestly,
what's the problem?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I have had the MetaQuest now like a month, and I haven't got the urge to play it. Not once.
Right, so we need to get into the bottom of this because, wait, you're saying you haven't had the urge to play it. What is your experience with VR properly?
PSVR 1.
Right, played, stop. What would PSVR 1?
Played Resident 7, which didn't last too long.
Right, okay.
I've done that. What did you call it? The Until Dawn
Rush of Blood.
Played that, enjoyed that there because you're on a roller coaster, it's fine. And the wee Astrobot game.
So, what would you have rated your fondness of VR at that stage?
It was alright.
Yeah.
To me, it was just, I don't know. It hasn't got that kind of fucking wow factor for me yet. I don't know. I'm not like I've got my VR. It's actually just sitting down there, not
fucking screaming. Yet. Don't return me.
I was saying the Demi earlier on, like because I was texting you, I was like, I might open it here. I might get on it here, and then I was like, if I open it up, will you play with me? Will you go to that kayak game and maybe stick on a bit of Resident Evil? She says, yeah. She says, but you'll probably not play it after that for too long. I'm thinking like, I don't know. It's not even about the money or anything. I have plenty of money in the bank, but it's
here everyone. You'll buy everyone who listens to fucking PSVR.
But it's just more like, I don't know. This man or adult trying to fight back at me saying, do you really need to spend 570? Because that's
don't you fucking don't. I am not listening to that. I am not listening to that because that is an excuse from you out of all people. You have no inner adult. Says the guy. What you buy shit galore. So there must be a reason. What is it that's making you think you don't want to open it? You don't think you'll like it?
I don't think I'll love it.
Right.
And I don't think I'm going to play it too much. But I really I'm busting to try that kayak game because it looks stunning.
Right. Okay.
So tell me like what your experience has been so far.
Right.
Break it down.
Because I think what's good is to know exactly, because I know you know my history with VR, but I think to kind of understand where it's come from. I'm not going to go into too much detail, okay? But I think so. Look, I have had everything from the PSVR 1 to the Quest to the Rift S to the Quest 2. PSVR 1, I don't think is a good enough judgment call to like or not like VR, especially because, for example, Resident Evil 7, even though you're in the VR, you're using a controller to shoot and stuff still. Is that right? Yeah, so it's not proper VR. Plus, the resolution on that was 1080p. It was horrendous. So PSVR 1, if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed Rush of Blood, I think that's a good sign. I can't understand how someone could put this on and think, I don't like it. And VR in general. But you need to have the right games, okay? So PSVR 1, not great. Quest 1, very heavy. I ended up getting the Rift S with lighter, was good, tethered to a computer, bit of a faff because you're sitting at your computer. Who wants to really do that? I want comfort. Quest 2, everyone I actually, who actually bought it on my recommendation, loved the headset. But the problem they had was either you put the headset on and it died within an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's brutal. Like my kids using it, and I let them, like I said before, I let them have like 15-minute bursts on it, and like it's, I think, maybe 2 nights if even, and it's gone.
It's fucked. So we would be on wanting to play multiplayer Pavlov, and everyone would be having good crack, and then someone dies, and they're like, "Fuck here, I'm gonna have to plug this in and sit by a chair." And it was terrible. We played poker at all, mate, and it was amazing. Like we were playing poker, and they were from American people, and people who were in that playing. Like Chris was going, this is fucking insane. Like everyone knows the potential of it, but there was always a problem. So it wasn't comfortable. You had to have it in charge. Did you
find it lets a good bit of light in around the bottom?
Yes,
because that's what I'm finding, and it's kind of like I haven't used it. The only time I've actually used it since I've had it at home was for there's like a free roller coaster.
Yeah, Logan and I love that.
I ended up actually buying the full game for, it was like $10.99 because Mason loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So I stuck it on, and that's the only thing that kind of took me out of it, was just right down there.
Yeah,
I could see,
it's terrible.
I see all around me. But when I was on it, I was standing up, and then the roller coaster went down. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I shouted for that. I was like, damn it, I go to fall.
Yeah, like, yeah, so the Oculus Quest 2, it's not comfortable. They let a lot of light in underneath, and then because of that as well, it fogs up. So you're constantly wiping them and stuff. So it's good, but it wasn't great. Okay. So I have tried PC VR, which is the highest quality you can get. I've tried Quest 2, which is passable, but honestly looks rubbish. And I would say that with this, perfect for me right now. Well, great. VR's not perfect yet. There's still things. So I got the VR. First thing I did was put the controllers on charge because they came a wee bit empty and you have to do that. And I put the headset on. And this is what was really important, was how comfy is it? And I put the headset on, I was like, it's not that comfy. Okay. And I fiddled around with it. And it got it to a stage where I think it was comfy. Now, my impressions keep changing, so I've tried it in 3 different sessions. First session was okay, second was better, third's way better. So it seems to be the more I'm using it, the better I'm actually getting out of it. So the lens fog, this is the first Pro, is completely gone for me. There's a fan inside the headset. So before, mate, I would be playing and constantly with my Quest 2, taking it off, clearing the screen, putting it back up, and it was a nightmare. Like you don't realize it now. But looking back, because someone actually mentioned to me, there's no lens fog now. And I was like, fuck, so there's not. So that's a massive boost. There's no light leak. So the way they have that accordion kind of silicone.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It is fucking pitch black. So it's completely immersive, mate. So massive step up from the Quest 2 in that front. It is really comfortable now, the more I'm getting used to it. Like I had it on and there was no problem. The only problem I'm having is eye strain. Now I'm supposed to wear glasses. I have an astigmatism on my left eye. Like if you actually look, my glasses, now I haven't had glasses about 2 years because Logan and Alba broke them when they were younger. The lens is about this thick. Now if anyone's not looking, I'm holding about 2 centimeters or an inch. It actually magnifies one of my eyes that it's on. So I have one big eye and one small eye when I wear the glasses. So I booked in for an eye test next Friday. Because I'm like, actually, I need glasses anyway, and I really like the VR, and I think it'll make it even better for me. The haptics. So in certain games, mate, the fucking headset booms, and you're like, fucking hell, that's incredible. And shooting the guns in the game is incredible. Whereas there's certain games I'll talk about, when you use the gun in Quest, there's no real feedback.
Yeah.
And then you're using now, you're like, fuck me, this is another level of immersion.
I am a big lover of the DualSense, like the haptics. I love it.
Incredible. The screen, the OLEDs, they're fucking black. They are black. There's a Resident Evil demo, and I really want to spoil things, but there's a part in a Resident Evil demo where you go into a dark room and you ain't seeing shit. The controllers, I love them. I think they're fantastic. I like the way the rings are. I even like the wee controller dock. I think it's quite cool.
Are they comfortable in your hand?
Yeah, comfortable. I have no problems at all. Now, I'm trying to think as well, is there anything else to add on that? Oh, the wee earphones are great. Just the way they hug in.
Yeah, they just clip on, don't they?
Yeah, and a big benefit as well, mate, from the Quest 2 is I would like playing VR. And you kind of wanted to see what they're seeing. If you want to do it in the Quest, you had to download the Oculus app, and it was a faff, and it didn't usually work.
No, it doesn't usually work.
Logan and Abel were watching me playing Resident Evil yesterday, and they were laughing their heads off and just thinking it was class because they're seeing what I see and they're watching me play Resident Evil. But yeah, so you can see what people are seeing, and it's great. The bad things. People on Reddit are going nuts. That's their first VR, and they're thinking that it's crystal clear. It's not. There's a mirror effect, which is like a light film. The way I would say it is, imagine a very, very fine kind of grain over the film of the camera. Now, the Quest didn't really have this, but the Quest was an LED screen or LCD, whatever the fucking is.
That's because it's OLED, isn't it?
Because it's OLED. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It's very vibrant at places. It is very dark, but there is a small mesh. Now, to be honest with you, half the time I don't notice it. It's just, it goes away in my head, and then you sometimes see it. I would still probably keep the OLED for it. Do you know what I mean? But that's kind of the only con of it, I would say. The writing as well. Sometimes the writing, I can't read it too well, but I think that's more on my eyesight because I can if I put it a certain way. But other than that, mate, I actually think for the headset, like a lot of people probably had too high expectations, but compared to the Quest, like my mate Ian, like I said, he's had the Quest since release. He sold his Xbox and everything, just plays the Quest. He's asking me, is it worth getting a PS5 and getting a VR? I told him to wait. In terms of tell my expectation, if the games keep getting supported to the quality like they are with Resident Evil, which we know Resident Evil 4 and things are, absolutely. I don't understand why someone could play Resident Evil or would want to play Resident Evil in flat screen gaming after this. That's honestly my impression.
Is it that good?
It's mate.
I obviously had to beat Villager the other week, so I would be excited to jump into that.
And I'll hold you back on this because I don't want to go into that. I want to go through what I did first. First game, Kayak VR. Put it on. You start off and you're in like a wee swimming pool and you're just kind of the wee feedback's happening and you're just going like that. Very hard to fucking kayak, that's all I'm going to say. So it's kind of like, it's just very hard and my arms are fucking aching.
Very realistic though, because it is actually quite hard to kayak.
Fucking right, it's hard. So I was kind of like, yeah, it's good. And then I went into my first kind of area and I was like, fuck, this game is gorgeous. This is phenomenal. And then I kayaked a bit and goes, oh, my arms are sore, so I'll stop it there. Now I ended up going that later, and there's other ones you can do. There's a nighttime jungle, and holy fuck, I mean, I was playing it tonight. Talk about saying, I know it's a bit fucking silly to say, but honestly, mate, you're just going about, and there's the fucking just the jungle, and it's pitch black, but there's the moon shining down on the beach and all. Mm-hmm. Oh, mate, it's phenomenal. Like, honestly, it's next level. It's fucking incredible. The only problem then is there is a bit of mirror in that one, but it's like I said, I don't mind. You the hell down, shut up. I didn't mind. And then there is one that you're in a storm, and I let Lindsay try this. Now Lindsay's tried the Quest 2, and Lindsay was doing this, and she was like, "What the absolute fuck is happening? Like, that feels too real because it's going up and down in the water. I mean, it's incredible." And that's from someone who's tried the Quest, and she even says like, "Oh, it's a big difference, massive."
Yeah, big step up, man.
Did that. Put it on GT. Probably one of the least impressive games in my opinion, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody's big on this one.
Do you know what my problem is with it, right? So I think I'm too far into a save. I actually tried to delete my save. I couldn't get it done and I could be fucked messing with it. I'm like in the load of races in and I don't feel a sense of progression. Whereas like I do the challenges and I'm like on challenge fucking 70 or whatever. But no, so went into the game and I was like, oh, it's cool. It's very good. It doesn't look as sharp as I would like, to be honest with you. But then I went into my challenge mode and I was in one of them fucking supercars, like a Formula 1 or whatever. And mate, do you know what happened? Do you ever see when you're in a car and it goes fast, someone's driving it, and you don't trust their driving, but you don't trust their driving as well, and you're scared?
Yeah.
Mate, that happened when I was playing. Like, what the fuck? I should be going this fast.
Every time I go out with Dami in the car.
Yeah. So you actually get that sense of, okay, and I was platooning it, and once again, I don't know why anyone would probably want to play GT7 differently. Like, obviously, yes, it does have a visual hit, like, but is it enough to take you out of that immersion? I don't think so. So tried that. Was quite high on it. So I played my VR standing a lot. Now these were all seated, So I ended up bringing my Oculus Quest 2 into my kitchen. So that's why I play it. I have a big kitchen. So what I ended up doing was I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get a game called Pavlov, which is like a multiplayer shooter, but I'm going to just lift my console, plug it into the one in the kitchen, and just bring my VR in there. And it did that. And the cable was no problem. At the start, I was a wee bit like, what the fuck? But it was gone. So someone asked, it was Ian who asked me, that was his worry about this, because if he's going from a Quest 2 to a PSVR, the cable's no problem at all. I don't mind the cable whatsoever. So that's completely out the window. Jumped into the game, and there's all these people around chatting, and everyone just got their PSVR headset. And I was like, okay, this looks sharp. And it was like a zombie mode where you're a zombie and you're chasing people. And it's like tag you're at. So I played that for a bit, it was good crack. But then I went into the shooting mode. Now I played this game on Quest 2 and it was good. But mate, see, as a shooter, I was wrecking boys. Like, fucking really, I was really good at it. But see, as a shooter, I was like, Bobby would fucking love this. If you play this game, mate, you'd be like, okay, I could play this flat out. Mm-hmm. It is fucking incredible. When you're reloading, you have to reload properly, like individual bullet, like that, and properly fucking shooting all. And you can get a sniper, and you have a bolt action gun. You can do fucking cock it and all. Mate, that game for multiplayer, like I played it on Quest 2, it was good. On this, it's phenomenal. Like that, you could just play off that game alone.
Are they crossplay? Because I know a lot of these games coming out are crossplay. Like that zombie one, the
After the Fall?
Yeah, it's crossplay.
I might get that, but yeah, I'm not too sure because it was all PlayStation. It told you everywhere they were, and everyone was on PlayStation on that. But everyone was talking and stuff. It was just really good crack. But it was great, and you can hear their footsteps and you can hear them talking. So, mate, see, just shooting on that, it's so much fun. Played Thumper a wee bit more today. It's like a rhythm game. I'm not going to dwell on too much. Fantastic. It's kind of like a psychedelic kind of experience. So anyone who doesn't realize that, it's kind of like a rhythm game.
Is that the one that you can actually use your eyes?
No, that's Rez, which is a bit weird. I did try that, but I didn't want to talk too much about it. But Thumper was playing that, mate, which is just, you're kind of zoning out rhythm game. Horizon, I might buy. I really liked it. Yeah. People are kind of like, oh, it's a tech demo. I really liked it from that demo. So if you do try your VR, try that, because I was really getting into it. Obviously at the start, you're on that rhythm boat and there's kind of like fucking all the machines going over you and stuff. But then there's a wee bit of climbing, and then the bow and arrow is kind of what sold me. So I like the climbing, and then the bow and arrow, when you're pulling it back, you just feel the resistance, and it's just fun as fuck shooting a bow and arrow at fucking things. And that's all I got to.
How does it look? Because it's meant to be the most visually appealing game out of them all.
I say Kayak looks better. Kayak's the most immersive.
Kayak does look good.
I think, well, Kayak, Resident Evil, and Horizon. Horizon it looks good. I actually think Resident Evil's doing the same thing where it's 60 FPS, projected 120. I don't really notice it much with Resident Evil though. I probably wouldn't even realize it with Horizon. Looks good, very good. But I think I would think Kayak and Resident Evil are more graphically immersive than for me personally. Mm-hmm. Have you any questions as of yet?
No, I think I might open it tomorrow.
Right. I think this might make you open it. Resident Evil 8 is fucking unbelievable. You will not play Resident Evil. I don't know, even Resident Evil 4, mate. The fact that if Resident Evil 4 was coming to VR first, the end 8, VR is the way I would play it. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know why anyone would want to play this in flat screen mode if they had VR. It is fucking insane. The level of detail that you miss when you're playing it on a normal screen, mate. Do you remember in Resident Evil, you played this recently? So in Resident Evil 8, you go out, you have that crash at the start, and then you walk out and you see the whole village.
Yeah.
Mate, that fucking castle and the whole thing, I'm like, I can see fucking everything, and it has proper scale. Like, you're in the villages sections and you look up and you're seeing the castle. I can't remember running about the village and even looking at the castle. Can you?
No, I looked up at it a couple of times, but I didn't really get the sense of.
Like, it's just kind of there, like the scale. The scales are, mate, honestly, so there's a few things I would say, right? Graphically, it looks pretty much on par with what the PlayStation is. If it's doing pre-projection, then it's literally just a cover carrying it over. But just the gunplay and everything, it is so fucking fun to shoot that gun. And I actually am doing better. I'm playing normal. I'm doing better with the fake gun.
Shooting and stuff.
Yeah, now I do have it on easy reload, so I could be bothered with doing all that reload shit, so I have a button where it'll reload itself. But I'm literally just sitting down, mate, just playing it. Remember I said one of the main things I hate about VR is how much effort's required? There's no effort. The only thing is, it just kind of fatigues my eyes because I need glasses. But my eyes played on about, there's 2 hours already. Right now, I'm in the castle. I've killed the first daughter, and I am loving it. It is fucking class.
So I know the PSVR 2 is glasses friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's why I'm getting my glasses.
I probably would wear my glasses because then I would need glasses if I'm like super close to something.
Yeah, but
I'll wear them.
Just that game, mate, like the fucking like the characters and all, and when they come up to your face, the fucking monsters, and even fucking Lady Dimitrescu. What's her name? Dimitrescu. She a big lady, boy. You don't see that in the game.
Big. See the bit where like you first see her, like the big ditties go up right in front of you.
They were sheer hanging. Fucking like I said, Lindsay's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "What are you saying? I'm not looking at it." But mate, I'm just having a great time with that. Like I see right now, I would. That's a game that I probably never went back to in 2D. I just didn't really. I thought it was okay, but I would never feel the urge to go and play Resident Evil 8 again. But playing it now, it's a whole different game almost. Like, I don't know how it'd be for you because you've just played Resident Evil 8. But
that's one of the games that's making me want to actually open the VR and play it.
But holy fuck me, it's not scary to me. I don't find it scary at all.
What difficulty are you on?
Medium. And I played
it like, because I feel like if you're more in control, you could maybe do a higher difficulty than you could in the controller. No.
Yeah, like I feel, man, I'm doing headshots on galore, like I'm.
Yeah, because you're in it, you're doing it. I feel like you could maybe up the difficulty a wee bit because that would maybe push me to go for the platinum.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I feel like I'm better at the game and I'm just enjoying it so much. And hopefully, see if they bring Resident Evil 7 to it, I'll be going straight into it. They just need and it's not.
I think they might do it.
Well, they have 4 as well, but that's Oculus exclusive. It was now. Just so you know, it's not me just being hyped on. Or it's a fully playable Resident Evil game because there was Resident Evil 4 and I had got the quest for that and I played it a bit, but I just kind of was like, I can't be bothered playing anymore. Whereas with this, it's totally different because it's graphically way up there, like compared, and it's just going about, just fucking opening wee drawers and all. It's all very seamless. Like if you honestly going from PSVR to this, it's going to blow your mind. What have you played in the quest also? Like have you played anything in the quest where you can grab a knife like this and swing it about and throw it and shit?
No.
Like once you get that kind of level of interactivity, it's incredible. Like I'm grabbing a knife, throwing it to open boxes and shit, and you go like this, whipping out a shotgun. Mate, see, whipping out a shotgun, shooting it like fucking straight in their face, and then you can cock the shotgun. I said, I feel like fucking Arnie and T2. I'm just wrecking those boys down the cellar. Unreal. Absolutely unreal, mate. So my only concern right now is the support going forward. Other than that, unreal. Fantastic. So after I beat Resident Evil, the problem I would have is like, right, what do we play next? I have Thumper there. Tried Rez, it's alright. I don't think it's too into it. Pavlov, big good multiplayer. I might get Horizon and play that.
I want to get, if I do open it, that
after the fall.
One. After the fall.
I will play that with you if you get it. You'll like it.
I want to get that.
You will like this thing, 100%. You will like this thing.
What about The Walking Dead? Did you download it?
It's not out until next month.
Oh, wasn't it? Is it the first one?
Yeah, the 20th. It's next month. Then date, both of them, 1 and 2.
Oh, right, okay.
I have played that on the Quest. It was good.
That would interest me,
but graphically on the Quest was a bit
iffy.
Yeah. But other than that, have you any questions? Anything you want to know?
No, it's up my hype. It's up the chances of the box being opened anyway.
Look, I wouldn't lie. I said to you, if it was terrible, I'll tell you. Like I said, there's bit of grey with the mirror, so have your expectations for that. If you go in thinking it looks like real life clearness, it doesn't. It clearly is like a VR, but the quality is, in my opinion, up there with PC VR, if not a wee bit better from what I've tried.
I think a lot of people have said that. I think there's only one that actually beats it in terms of graphic fidelity, and then at that point it's an LCD screen as well. Is it a Hive something or STC, or I can't remember the name of it.
What do you think? There's GT. I want to delete my save and go and replay GT as well. And then Kayak VR, sorry. I was doing the races. There's races that you can do, but they haven't got like live multiplayer, but what they have is scoreboards.
It's coming though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming. But I was doing the scoreboards, mate. I got actually pretty fucking good at kayaking. I may be a pro kayaker, by the way. This is a thing. But I was going some fucking speed now, and I was like, oh, this is actually fun. Tiring, but fun. So like I actually am enjoying it, mate. But it's still very early days. I just think the support comes, we'll be loving life, and you know, who knows what fucking comes to it. There's Resident Evil 4. They're working on it now. Do we think it's going to be there for launch next month?
Don't know.
I don't mind, because it's going to give me a chance to play for it twice.
It would be big, like if it was.
I'll play for it in the flat screen then, if it's not the end date, and then I'll go back to it. But mate, if they honestly support this thing, like, it is definitely worth, in my opinion, look, you've spent 570 quid. Fucking open the thing and give it a good rollicking. The worst case scenario, throw it up on eBay in a couple of months' time. But
see, that's the thing I say is the damage as well. It's just like, what if you open it and then you don't play it again? And then I was like, or she says you'd end up selling it. I was like, I wouldn't want to sell it, because chances are if I sell it, they're going to announce something that I actually do want to play, and I end up having to buy it again.
So my Quest 2,
I'll probably end up opening it and keeping it. I couldn't see myself selling it after opening it.
Well, the Quest 2 I had, I didn't want to sell it, and I would sell everything. And then it was sitting there, and I think me and Lindsay were getting married or something. She was like, oh, we could do with just a wee bit more money for it. And I was like, right, let me see. Put my Quest 2 on, and I wanted to start playing the single player games, and I couldn't. I couldn't last for more than 20 minutes because it was just giving me a headache because the fucking thing was that heavy on my nose. And I just went, right, this is not, like, honestly, I'm sitting there, I'm comfortable. It's not fogging. It's fully pitch black. I'm fucking catching flies because I'm not immersed. And it's just great crack. So, yeah, Sony's obviously going to support it at the start anyway. So I'm sure we're going to get more ports. But if we start getting games like Resident Evil coming to that thing, holy fuck, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely unbelievable. So, yeah, that's that. Get her open and give her a try. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. You prick. I would love to hear them tonight, just because it would have been a good kind of conversation. But
well, who knows? Next week might be full of thoughts about it.
So what's the chance if you don't open it? What are you doing? Just send it back?
If I don't open it, I would just send it back and get the full money back. But I think I might even open it tonight and charge it. Fuck it. It's not cost me anything. I've paid for it and all, like, it's out of the bank. So, well,
the Quest 2, mate, if you're going to compare it to the Quest 2, there's some games in the Quest 2 that are brilliant.
I can't see me using the Quest 2 at all. Like, it's mainly just for the kids.
Yeah, but I wouldn't compare it to the Quest 2 in a way, almost like just for what you're doing. Like, put it in your room and sit in the fucking bed.
That's what it'll be. It'll just be in there, like, in my room. It'll not move, like, but it just doesn't move.
Well, that's that. So that'll do for what we've been playing, and that was actually quite a long one. We were thinking of maybe, is there much news happening this week or not? There's a fucking hour spent on that already. Yeah. So yeah, moving on to the news and rumours this week. There is, obviously we covered one already. There's 7 items on the list. Item 1, Call of Duty 2023 will continue Modern Warfare 2 story, will be led by Sledgehammer Games. In a new report from Bloomberg, Activision has modified its annual Call of Duty release schedule plans, shifting away from a planned expansion for Modern Warfare. Reports now state that it will move towards another full game set in the modern era to be developed by Sledgehammer Games. Previous reports last year stated the plans for Call of Duty in 2023 would be an experimental phase for the franchise, focusing on a high-end expansion for last year's Modern Warfare 2, which is apparently scaled up for a full release. No official details are out at this time. Bloomberg reports stated that the game would focus on a continuation of Modern Warfare 2 and its systems, but it will not be Modern Warfare 3. Sledgehammer, the developers behind Call of Duty Vanguard, will be heading up the game's development, with support coming from other Activision studios, including Infinity Ward and Treyarch. So, Vanguard was last year's, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's usually a 3-year kind of release schedule they're on. That's quite quick.
Yeah. I'm kind of fucking bummed out about it. I thought it was going to be Treyarch. That's what I was hoping for anyway, for the zombies. But...
So Treyarch are to go next, though?
Yeah, so the Treyarch actually got pulled in early for a game. I think it was Cold War. Their game got pulled in early. Theirs was meant to be a year later because I think Sledgehammer wasn't ready.
Right.
And I think theirs was Cold War was just a bit more fleshed out, so they got put in. So then you have Sledgehammer. Yeah, so it would be on paper Treyarch's time to go.
Right.
So I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just Treyarch's not ready. Maybe their game's not ready for it. I mean, it's a 3-year cycle between each dev, like, to pump out a game, which isn't a lot of time, like.
Do you know what I would love? You have one Call of Duty that's just boots on the ground, doing normal shit. You've one just experimental. Just go nuts. Fucking do whatever you want. You have Infinite Warfare. I didn't like it, but at least you tried it. I loved Advanced Warfare, mate. And I know people didn't. I know the boosting and shit. I thought it was incredible. Great crack. And I really got into that one, but that's what I would like. Do something a bit more like Titanfall. Do something different.
A zombies platform. Just Call of Duty Zombies as a platform and just update it with maps. Put all the old maps into it and just constantly update it every year with a few map packs. Keep the game up to date. I would love that. I would play that fucking flat out.
And a lot of people do obviously like zombies. To be fair,
there is a big community for it. It's one of them ones you either like it or you don't, or you're either good at it or you're not, because it's a lot harder than just multiplayer. There's a whole system to it, like there's a whole way you need to play it. But for me, if they done like just a full on zombies game, I would probably never be off it.
So we get the single player mode?
Yeah, I haven't touched Call of Duty campaigns in a long time, since Black Ops 3.
Fuck me, mate. That's even longer. Mine's was World at War.
And the reason...
Not World at War, the other one.
Black
Ops 1. Black Ops 1, what was that?
Black Ops 1, really? That was...
2011?
360.
Yeah, it was 2011, I think.
Yeah, maybe earlier.
So, Modern Warfare 1, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, 2011. Called Black Ops.
Modern Warfare 3, then you have Black Ops 2.
Black Ops was 2010.
I thought it was earlier because you had Black Ops 2, which was on the 360.
Ah, yeah, 2012. Black Ops was the last single player campaign I done Call of Duty. Fully.
Fucking hell. See, I used to do them all on Veteran.
What's the word's name? What's the numbers mean, Mason?
Love that there, and you press the fucking R2 or RT and LT fucking loads of times and he gets out of the chair.
Mental. Yeah, so that's this year. I liked, obviously, we liked Modern Warfare 2, we played a wee bit. But then it's just like, we really got into Warzone. I actually really liked Warzone and kind of thing like, I probably should get back to it. But
I would like to jump back in now that Resurgence is there.
And we had really good crack at it though. But so it's just going to be
bit of story DLC and probably map packs. Added on map packs then, yeah.
Oh yeah, 60 quid, guys. Do you think it's going to be full price?
Aye, probably.
What? Yeah, it will be. Of course it will be.
50 to 70 at least. At least 50 quid.
I don't think they'll even charge you. They'll even let on that it's a lower kind of tier release than a normal full game.
I would say the average consumer will not know the difference.
Yeah.
They'll just think, this is new Modern Warfare.
Do you think we'll see, when do you think Call of Duty will actually be dethroned? Because it's been 18 years now or whatever? 17, 18 years. Do you think it will be dethroned?
I can't see it anytime soon, like. I really can't. It depends. What could dethrone it? Cause
do you want it to be dethroned?
No, but I want it. They don't need to be every year, and I think under Microsoft they'll knock that in the head. It definitely doesn't need to be every year. It's
money, man. It's like FIFA. Ridiculous.
It is, but I mean, Microsoft, they can take that hit on the extra year, like, and then it means every developer, the three main ones anyway, get an extra 3 years out of their game. So it's a 6-year cycle, which makes sense. Rather than having to pump all your resources like Activision have done and ruin all the other studios, just make them support studios.
They need to do something, because it is a bit like, fuck me. Every year it's just a reset. Like, they don't need to do that. But
I know, but it's like you said, it makes the money. So would you change anything?
No. But then you look at Battlefield that they have all the time. Well, we'll say all the time. They have a few years.
Stupid. They're fucking stupid. They fucking put that game out in a beta test. And people said it wasn't ready, and they still put it out.
Battlefield 1 was good, and then they had that Battlefield
5.
Terrible. And then they had obviously that. 4 was good, Battlefield 4 was good. And then you had remember the spin-off and all? What was it? Hardline? Fuck me. I remember working a game and that happened. Yeah, so we'll find out sooner rather than later on that. We'll probably find out around summertime, I'm guessing. Usually it was typically summer. Sometimes they've been holding off recently because of the Wii Free. Like, it's been a wee bit later, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the beta test for PlayStation stuff been leaked.
Right.
Like August or something like that there it's starting. So I would imagine we would hear sort of July time.
We'll see. Item 2, Shinji Mikami leaves Tango Gameworks. So Bethesda put on Twitter, we can confirm that Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Gameworks in the coming months. We thank him for his work as a creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers on the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and of course, Hi-Fi Rush. Imran Khan, former Kinda Funny and Fanbyte, quote, tweeted this and said, my understanding is that Mikami was always hesitant to leave Tango because he thought the studio would get shut down without him as a buffer. I guess now he's more confident in the studio within the larger Microsoft portfolio. Makes sense. Hi-Fi Rush, success, people love it. How involved was he really?
Yeah,
he was really. Yeah,
the quote tweet from Imran kind of brings a wee bit of context to it. That he maybe was wanting to leave for the past couple of years, and not in a bad way wanting to leave, just wanted to maybe move on and do something else. And he was just in fear that what would happen to Tango if I did leave. But now under Microsoft, they have that back and they have that money. There's nothing to worry about. You can move on. A lot of people do this here, like the head of the studio. After they get purchased, they'll agree to stay for like a certain amount of time, and then they'll move on. They'll go and form a different studio. And that's kind of the whole cycle that people do. They make a studio, they get build it up, they get bought, they move on, they go make something else, they get bought. It's like a cycle.
I think he doesn't want he wants his own creative control. Not that Microsoft probably would have an input, but
Microsoft don't have an input in their creative control anymore. They did very much do that there in like early Xbox One days and stuff, but I think they learned their lesson from that, and they could very much give. I think quite a lot of the developers have said like Microsoft give them complete freedom to do whatever they want. They just give them the money and make the games that you want to make. So I think he maybe just wants to move on. Maybe he's got another studio lined up that he wants to create himself.
I wonder how involved he was, because he directed the first Evil Within. That was him as the director, and then the director of Evil Within 2 was the guy who directed Hi-Fi Rush. So obviously maybe just overseen that, but he hasn't been directly involved with the game in that sense in a while. So do you reckon he's going to direct another game? Obviously maybe not going to know the answer to this, but
I would say he'll do something, yeah. He's not done or anything, so
I think he done one called Vanquish is what he did do. Vanquish that was on the 360 and shit. So he's maybe just wanting to go do something else completely on his own. I don't fuck knows. But yeah, so what I will say about this is about Tango Gameworks is they are the worst. They have the worst logo out of any AAA developer I've ever seen.
It's a fucking snail.
Why the fuck do you go with Tango Gamework run up a fucking snail on it?
It makes no sense. Like a fucking orange or something would have been a bit better with Tango.
Hi-Fi Rush angers me now when I see it. Do you know that?
No.
Because you know what I see when I think of Hi-Fi Rush? That wee visual of that wee cunt clap or clicking his wee fucking hands.
Just honestly, it
fucking angers me. It's fucking terrible looking. But yeah, that game, I actually don't get the hype for that game, honestly. A 9 out of 10. Good. Could have done better for it. 7. A push. Item 3. Microsoft and Nvidia announced a relationship. They're now romantically involved. So Microsoft and Nvidia announced expansive new gaming deal. On Tuesday, Microsoft and Nvidia announced the companies have agreed to a 10-year partnership to bring Xbox PC games to the Nvidia GeForce Now cloud gaming service, which has more than 25 million members in over 100 countries. The agreement will enable gamers to stream Xbox PC titles from GeForce Now to PCs, macOS, Chromebooks, smartphones, and other devices. It will also enable Activision Blizzard's PC titles, such as not Call of Duty just yet, to be streamed on GeForce Now after Microsoft's acquisition of Activision closes. Xbox remains committed to giving more choice and finding ways to expand how people play. Said Phil Spencer, this partnership will help grow Nvidia's catalogue of titles to include games like Call of Duty while giving developers more way to offer streaming. We are excited to offer gamers more way to play the games they love. Bobby, you have put down a lot of content here for this one. Basically, in short, is the title. I'm not going to read any more of that. Don't need to cover anymore.
Pretty much, Nvidia was one of the ones that was against the Activision deal.
Oh yeah,
cloud gaming thing, but now they're not. So Microsoft was basically making deals with everybody that was somewhat against it, to pretty much force Sony into making a deal. That's pretty much what's happening.
So what's going to be the deal with Sony, do you think?
I mean, at the end of the day, Sony's going to look stupid if everybody's accepting this deal and they're simply not, because they want to keep their market dominance over Xbox, because that's all it is.
Do you know what Sony
Xbox,
needed?
like they've give them 10-year deal. Like your man, there was a press conference where your man, I think it's Brad Smith, he called him, president of Microsoft. He had a whole like press conference over in Brussels, possibly, not too sure. But he actually whipped out the document. He says, "I've had this. This is the document we sent to Sony before Christmas, and it's here. It's waiting to be signed,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing's done about it. It's a 10-year deal for COD, and they won't do it.
You have 10 years to try and dethrone the fucking thing with Bungie,
But
then it's going to go multi-platform no matter.
that's what I understand. Obviously, that Sony wants to keep their market lead, and they're still going to have the market lead even after the Activision deal closes. That still doesn't even bridge the gap between them. But I mean, Microsoft can't do anything else more. They've Nintendo. They've made a deal with Nintendo. It's actually official now that they're bringing. It actually said they're bringing Xbox games, including Call of Duty, so it could be more stuff
Mm-hmm.
to Nintendo platforms. So that's a deal that's been done for 10 years. NVIDIA has been done for 10 years. Your man over at Steam says they don't even need to do a deal because they trust Microsoft to deliver on their promise. So everybody's doing the deal. The only people that's against it now is Google and Sony.
Well, you didn't put in the notes, and it's not really big news, but I believe it was someone, it might have been Phil Spencer, but someone at Microsoft that said that in 10 years' time, they don't think console gaming is going to look the same. 10 years' time, we're going to have an Xbox console?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Or we're going to have an Xbox service?
It depends. It really depends on how much the internet infrastructure picks up.
It does, doesn't it? And even at that, you're never going to get a proper hardcore gaming. The latency will always, like the latency is too much.
Never say, you don't know. Never say never with technology.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, honestly. But
like I know us right now thinking, no, it couldn't be possible, but you honestly don't know.
We're fiber to the property. What the fuck are they going to do?
In 10 years, no, I don't think it maybe advanced that much where like cloud gaming is absolutely seamless. But 20 years? Yeah.
Yeah, no, like if we said 20 years ago, mate, like the speeds and all I have now compared to fucking, I think I had fucking 2 megabit broadband or whatever back in the day, but it's not even, I don't think it's even more the speed, it's more the latency it's not like the fiber, the way the wire is, it's actually the fiber can only do so much speed, but I don't know if it's actually covered the actual download speed is what the problem is it?
Yeah, I don't know. They could figure it out. We'll never know, but I've said this recently, like to you, like I'm maybe on podcast or off the podcast, but to me, if Xbox turned around and just became a publisher, I would be happy with that there, and all the stuff went to PlayStation.
Why don't they?
I think they're too deep in the Xbox ecosystem, the console system.
Do you think they want to be in that console system?
Do they want to be on PlayStation?
Do you think? Well, let me give you a scenario. If they had the possibility now to be a full publisher and there'll be kind of no bad will or whatever this, do you think they would do that instead rather than have another Xbox?
Yes.
Because I don't, because I think it's more Game Pass than that, and to be fair, whatever.
Because the way they see it, they see the market as more, it's going to go in the route of subscription based, which to be honest, everything else has. Music, you look at music, you look at videos, it all went in the subscription, so why can't games be any different?
Sony's a hardware company. Xbox is always, Microsoft's software.
That's come out like in this whole COD deal, like they have offered Game Pass on PlayStation, and PlayStation said no.
Even just do Xbox only.
How awesome would that be if Game Pass came to PlayStation?
Never say never. Never that we didn't do fucking cross-platform.
Exactly. But how fucking incredible would that? I think I would boost both of them.
It does just fucking merge. They have Xbox first-party games. I think that the main problem they would have is the certain. That's all. Even getting into that, I think the certain, if they have it, they're not going to have a store marketplace. That's what Xbox will lose out, is the store marketplace, but that's fine.
That's fine. They can take the hit on that. Xbox is a tiny bit of Microsoft.
I know. I don't know why they don't do it, mate. Because you imagine just how easy it'd be instead of going just one seamless area.
It would boost sales for PlayStation.
Yeah, it would boost sales for Xbox as well, yeah.
And it would boost subscriptions for Xbox.
And then someone would buy an PlayStation and go, you know what, I've always been Xbox, but why don't they try this Last of Us, or why don't they try Spider-Man?
I've been Xbox mainly since 360 really. I've had PlayStation and stuff, but more recently, I've been playing more PlayStation. But
because you're grown up.
If Game Pass came to the Sony at the PlayStation, and they're still done Xboxes, I wouldn't buy an Xbox. I'd have no need whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'd be happy enough for a PlayStation. It would be incredible.
Yeah, because that's just, to me, Microsoft have always been a software company. That's what they do well. So,
and they'd be a banging fucking publisher. Like, look at the amount of stuff they will have underneath them.
A girl can dream. Item 4, top horror movie producer Blumhouse launches gaming studio. Blumhouse, Blumhouse. Why am I saying Blumhouse? Blumhouse, the multimedia company that have produced seminal modern horror movies, including Paranormal Activity, The Purge, Get Out, and 2022's Megan, has revealed it's launching a new subsidiary to produce and publish video games aiming to become the Annapurna Interactive of fear-driven interactive experiences. Annapurna, are they movies or games? Annapurna's games?
Games, yeah. They done the likes. They do loads of stuff. They done 12 Minutes. They done Stray.
Aye, they're basically kind of like, yeah, kind of unique. Yeah.
Things. They're more of just a public. They just publish the games.
Yeah, so Blumhouse Games will adopt the company's tried and tested model of partnering with independent creators to introduce original creative visions for consoles, PC and mobile platforms. It will predominantly focus on budget games below 10 million, helping to foster innovation and push the boundaries of the horror gaming genre. The company has named Zach Wood as president of Blumhouse Games, with Don Scheller joining as CFO. Wood has over 25 years experience in video game production, working on titles for platforms such as the Game Boy, PS5, ranging from indie releases to AAA venturings, including the Unfinished Swan, Bound, and Redfall. Let you go first, Bobby. What's your impressions of this?
I think it's awesome. I love all them kind of movies, so
I rate Blumhouse.
I'm diving more deeper into the horror genre in games now as well, so I think it's class. I think bring all that kind of franchises over to the gaming world.
Blumhouse. Yeah, Blumhouse. So I forget the guy who actually owns. Is it Jason? Let me see. The guy who does. Let me see. Blumhouse owner. It's like Jason Blum. Yeah, Jason Blum. So I know him because obviously I'm very much into films. There was a while there that when Blumhouse were involved with a horror movie, you knew it was kind of going to be good because they were very good with horror and they kind of had original ideas. So The Purge, Anarchy and things, Purge 1. Paranormal Activity. You obviously have, I think the likes of, no, it's Warner Brothers. I was going to say the Conjuring and things. I think it's Warner Brothers. But they have a lot of good films. And if they're able to kind of.
That came out recently there. It was fantastic.
Is it? I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Really enjoyed it. You should watch it.
It's not scary though, is it? It's not scary though, is it?
No, it's not scary, but it's.
What do you watch it on my Xbox?
I have a website.
Oh.
You can watch all the cinema stuff on it.
Legal Activity, send me that there. Yeah, so like if they're just going to carry on that kind of thing, but put it into games, yeah, more indie games that actually are good. Yeah. I'm all for, especially horror. Give me more horror games. Put on your big boy 100%. Pumps, Bobby. You're a grown man now. Item 5, which is I have some views on. Mortal Kombat 12 confirmed for 2023 release. Mortal Kombat 12 is set to release this year, making 2023 an absolute juggernaut of a year for fighting games. Warner Brothers Discovery made the announcement during its earnings calls today. A clip from the call that's been passed around Twitter includes confirmation for Andrew Slabin, Warner Brothers Discovery's AFP, Executive Vice President, that Mortal Kombat 12 is slated for 2023. There are lots more to come, including the highly anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 and Suicide Squad The Justice League. Games also set for release this year with ambitious launch projections. Fuck me, my voice is going. IGN has reached out to Warner Brothers Discovery for a statement. So look, this is interesting because Ed Boon, who is the creator of Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios, he had been basically saying it's going to happen. I think
he's been teasing it for a while.
Now, it's strange because they have for a while now went from Mortal Kombat to Injustice. So this is actually, it would have been Injustice as the next one up because Mortal Kombat 11 was 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, it was the last one, yeah.
Bit strange on that. I'll be honest, Mortal Kombat used to be my game. But from X, 9 was the last one I really got into, which was 2010. X I didn't really like when it came out. 11, I beat that recently actually. And then 11, I'm like, it's okay. But
I'll go back and play that. I do enjoy the story mode on the modern Mortal Kombats.
Yeah, I always loved them, but Mortal Kombat 12. So we've got Street Fighter this year, which was shown at the State of Play, sorry. and you've got Mortal Kombat. So
And
another fighter, Tekken.
Yeah.
Gameplay was showing that.
Yeah, because I was thinking there when you're reading it, Juggernaut of a year, and I was like, well, that's only 2. And then I realised, no, Tekken's coming too.
There's actually gameplay shown of Tekken this week. It looks pretty good. It's very weird because I went through a fighting game phase last year.
Yeah.
And I went to Mortal Kombat and I played it online and actually got to a stage where I was winning a lot of fights and I was like, I'm very good at this game, but it's a bit well, it's not button bashy, but it's very spammy of moves. And there's a kind of a lot of like, I can do a fucking scorpion move where I go behind you or whatever it's called. And it's quite hard to defend. So you can kind of spam it. Whereas Tekken's very, very mechanical. There's a lot of skill, the same with Street Fighter. So before I got into Tekken quite a bit, and then I was like, Street Fighter's coming out sooner, so I'll probably play Street Fighter more and then play Street Fighter 6. So no, they're good. So I'm actually glad all 3 are coming out, and I'll probably get all 3, Bobby. So if your game's sharing on PlayStation, you're lucky. It's a good game for us.
I'll buy Mortal Kombat. That's probably the one that would appeal to me the most.
I'll be getting Street Fighter like June, 100%. So did you see the Street Fighter in the State of Play?
No, the only thing I watched from it was Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until the State of Play to talk about that, but maybe I'll not jump in too much. So item 6, fuck me. Konami to have a big E3 this year. A new report claims that Konami is planning to reveal a new Castlevania and the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake at this year's E3. According to Andy Robertson, speaking on the VGC podcast, Konami is planning to have a pretty big E3, claiming that a new Castlevania is set to appear alongside the much rumoured Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. There's a new Castlevania, in addition to the Dead Cells DLC they announced at the Game Awards, and there's this much discussed Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, which I also expect them to finally show. A lot of Metal Gear rumours, because very recently there was Metal Gear Solid PC HD coming, and now there's this. What's true and what's not?
I don't know. You're the Metal Gear man.
I am the Metal Gear man. So it has been rumored.
It sounds believable because, like, obviously they're bringing back Silent Hill and stuff, so it would make sense.
Yeah, it's going to be. They are going to do
Juggernaut, like, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So anyone who's thinking, well, why would you do Metal Gear Solid 3 remake? In a way, it does make sense. If they're going to do 3, if they're just started on 2, I'd be like, okay, that's a bit weird. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a prequel. So it's set in, I think, the 60s. 60s. And you play as Big Boss, not Solid Snake, who little me didn't realize the difference because they're identical, but they're clones. So they could do that. And then obviously you've got Peace Walker. And then you've got Metal Gear Solid 5. So that's kind of a trilogy of games. So they are kind of their separate contained story. They obviously do funnel into Metal Gear Solid 2 and such in the future, but you could do them and then build your way up, which to me, honestly, that makes sense. Doing it in chronological order then. And you have obviously your 3, maybe do something with Peace Walker. And then they have 5 already. They don't need to do anything to that. And then go and change maybe 1 and 2. And something with 4 in the end. And then in Castlevania, mate, there's the anime show, which does extremely well on Netflix. I think it's kind of sitting there. It's ripe for the picking. There was the problems they had with Castlevania in the past. Was it Mercury Steam? Had made Lords of Shadows. I think they're like a Portuguese. Sure. Mercury Steam is like a Portuguese or Spanish developer. They had made the Castlevania reboot there. It was on 360. They are a Spanish one. They actually also made Metroid Dread, which is fantastic. Yeah, so they made that Metroid or Castlevania Lords of Shadows. So it's been a while, a good few years now since a Castlevania game was really done properly. Question is, they're going to do a 3D or 2D or 2.5D? So from there, though, I think it's likely. Hopefully we do see something at E3 because I've already talked about, we were 9 episodes in and I think we've talked about Metal Gear on 4 episodes in some stage here. We unfortunately have let a lot of people down by the looks of things.
180k.
180k on TikTok. I've been watching and getting hyped about Metal Gear Rising. That was supposed to happen on the 21st, but what happened was fucking artwork.
I've seen that. Brutal.
Yeah. So the last real story before we get into anything is Sony State of Play. Now Bobby done notes this week, so we can put the blame on him. And he also didn't watch the State of Play that he told me about. State of Play.
Really fucking shit up in Age of Empires.
So we'll do a recap, and this is all off memory, by the way, but they showed 5 VR games. 5 very underwhelming VR games. I was hoping for some kind of juggernauts, whereas this is things that I was like, right, seriously, they don't look too interesting. Some of them look okay, but I can't even tell you the name of one of them. I think one's like Journey something. So yeah, nothing really big there. They showed more of Street Fighter 6. They also showed Kami with clapping cheeks. So any wee kid who's going to play this girl's fucking thighs for the fuck's sake, and it's a cartoon character. Kieran had said to me, it looks too shiny. It looks Fortnite-ified, is my kind of thing.
It has went like a wee bit of a different art style this time, hasn't it?
I feel like they went backwards. I liked 4's art style, and then 5 just went.
I like 4
a bit weird, and then 6 is a bit like Fortnite. So we had that, and then we also had Destiny 2 Lightfall, which we'll cover in a second. But then we had the Suicide Squad. So I think that's kind of the main thing I wanted to talk to you about, because Kieran was quite meh on it. I'm a bit. What I actually said, and this kind of goes off what I've heard of Gotham Knights as well, is it's a game releasing in 2023 that, in my opinion, somehow the world, maybe not the characters, the world looks less graphically impressive or atmospheric than a 2015 game. What's your thoughts on that kind of thought?
It makes sense, yeah. It doesn't look...
that world. Have you played Arkham Knight recently?
No, not recently.
Oh my god, mate. Like, it's graphically, about that world and all, it's just fucking class. But what do you think? You said you're kind of hyped for it.
I'm quite high on it compared to all you. You're kind of down the middle. Kieran's like, meh. But I'm like, I'm right up here on it.
It's the multiplayer side of things. I'm just like,
I like that though. I like it's not really multiplayer. It's more co-op. So I wouldn't really class it as multiplayer. I would say co-op.
The gameplay looks fun. Like the way
it does look fun.
Who would you use? So Harley Quinn's kind of. I like Harley Quinn. I don't think I would play as Deadshot or King Shark.
I'm not going to play as anybody else.
Boomerang guy, whatever's his name.
He looks cool.
What's his name?
Kind of the speed. Captain Boomerang. He has the Speed Force thing. That's from the Flash. That's quite cool.
So he looks quite. I like speed.
He would be the Flash's kind of enemy.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's because it's Rocksteady. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like 8 fucking years since Arkham Knight. This better be fucking good.
I think it's going to be good.
Like I said, I had 3 games that I love, so I'm not gonna.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 7, but it's going to be an 8.5 for friends.
You think it's going to be a 7?
Mm-hmm. But an 8.5 with friends, because I think it's made for co-op.
Right. So a 7. Who you going by IGN kind of standards? We're going to use them. We're going to
right. Just like so
let's have a look. Batman, like Arkham, fucking 70.
Yeah, but that's my logic behind it. I think it's going to where it's going to shine is when you're playing with your friends.
Okay, so Arkham Asylum. What do you think IGN give it? Arkham Asylum 2008.
2008. 8.7.
9.3. Rightfully so. Arkham City 2011, 2012. What do you think that got?
9.1.
9.5. Finally, and I already know this because I remember the day I was working and looked at it. Arkham Knight, what do you think that got?
It's lower, isn't it?
What do you think?
I'm gonna say 8.7.
9.2.
Really?
So everything's scoring 9.2, 9.5. A 7 would be disastrous in terms of, and I'm not saying a 7 on IGN is disastrous.
Reviews have changed drastically since then, though.
Think they're more critical?
Yeah, 100%.
I thought
100%. A 7's looked at as a bad score now, when it's not. But what I'm basically saying, if you take away the review score here that we're talking about, I'm gonna say that I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think it's gonna be
flawed.
A really good game. Yeah, flawed, yes, but I think it's gonna be a good game. But I think it's gonna be a really good game if you pair up with your friends. I think that's where the fun's gonna be.
But yeah, like I totally understand. It's
because it is obviously they built this world to be co-op.
Yeah,
they said in the trailer, yes, you can play single player. They'll have AI, but I think the fun is going to be when you're running about with your mates. You got fucking Kieran as fucking King Shark running about ragging everybody.
He would be King Shark, wouldn't he?
Wouldn't he? Me, he's a bit slow, so me being fucking Harley Quinn just swinging through, and then you being whoever the fuck you want to be.
Harley Quinn, yeah. Thanks. I just think, like, you think how many good studios, mate, have put a stinker and it's really tainted them. They have to release this and it has to be good. I think if it's not considered a really good game, it's a stain on Rocksteady big time. 8 years. Do you know what I mean? It has to be, like, I'll give you a scenario. Days Gone is supposed to be a good game, but it's also a game that people, it basically almost fucking nearly killed the studio, did it not? Do you know what I mean? How long that took?
They didn't get a sequel, and it's one of them games that I think if it did have a sequel, I think the sequel would be banger.
Sure, why did Horizon get a sequel? It's a fucking terrible game, in my opinion. There's some wee controversial few.
It's as well that you don't fucking run Sony Studios and that, PlayStation Studios.
Yeah, but yeah, mate, I think if it's anything lower than great, it's a massive issue.
You've got a whole meta now where it's not like an 85 or above, it's a bad game.
It's always been that way though. Back even when I used to really watch IGN stuff, like anything was a 7 or it was like, I remember Alien Isolation. Remember I always talk about this? Alien Isolation. Is it
6 or something, isn't it?
5.9. Alien Isolation, and I'll be honest, that game is a 9.5. Like, if that, and there's an okay score, but back then that was like, you've killed this game. You know, scoring has always been very tumultuous, but fuck me, I mean, that's mental. But no, I think it has to get a Metacritic of about 90, in my opinion. You don't think like? No. What about we hear? We'll do your prediction. What do we think?
Right.
No, I'll do my prediction. It's not done anything.
Do I have like a couple of? We'll do like a 5-point leeway.
Yeah.
Right. 77, 82.
Ooh, I do 82 to 87. I'm gonna go ahead.
I think the game's better than what I think it's going to be. I'm high on the game. You think the game's going to be better than what I think it's going to be?
Yeah.
I'm actually higher on the game.
Yeah. The game's going to be better than you're saying, 100%.
Right.
Has to be. Has to be.
Got it here. Video evidence. We'll come back to this back in when's it out? May?
Is it
April?
May? We'll go half for that 1 minute. We'll play it. I'm excited to play it. But I'm excited. If that was Montreal right now, I'd be like, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
But even at that, I did want to play Gotham Knights because I'm still like,
I do want to play it. Like it's an offer. I want to buy it.
I want to buy it, and then I look at the Sculpts review, and it makes me think, don't buy this game.
I played it on PC, and I thought it was great.
Looks bad though. You know what?
I think it's one of them games. So like,
how much is it on PlayStation?
£25.
It'll go cheaper. Like, you'll not play it just yet, so just hold off.
I've just beat Hogwarts, you know.
You've got your VR sitting there. You're gonna play Resident Evil.
No, I do. I gotta do all right.
Yeah,
but I think it will flourish in co-op.
You'll flourish in co-op,
and the battle pass isn't a big deal. They made it clear it's just cosmetics.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I know we all talk about that. I'm not worried about whatever. Online doesn't bother me, honestly.
Kieran was on that episode, and he was like, "Why can't they just make a game? It's a game
for being a game." We should get that as a shirt. He won't even listen to this far. We'll just slap about him. Game, it's a game. Make a game. I just want an online game that's a game.
That's something for me that excites me about doing a battle pass and the transmog as well. So. You can have whatever. I like that there as well. They'll say the way the guns, you get higher level guns, you can upgrade them. I like that points. Just seeing that wee green line, the wee extra.
I like it
stats on it
when it's not done too much. Harry Potter done it too much. There's too much that you're getting. It was constant upgrades.
That's one thing about Harry Potter. See the gear slots. Fuck them.
See if you're giving me upgrades. Do it sparingly. Don't give me it every fucking time I fucking open a chest. Like, here's better ones. Like, do you lose all value? Let me get a new coat or a cape and be like, fuck, I got a new cape. Not, fuck, here's another cape. And you go in there and there's a fucking wardrobe full of them. You're like, which one are you? You're all shite. Heavy hitters releasing this week. Now, Bobby, I might.
Are you actually thinking about it?
The trailer looks fucking class, mate. Have you seen anything on this?
No, I kind of just stay away from Destiny now. I tried it and it was just like...
Destiny 2 Lightfall. But this is what I mean. So Destiny 2 is something that... Fuck the story, mate, but you could just jump in. But Lightfall, just the whole aesthetic, it's kind of like cyberpunkish. I'm like, I'm down for this.
Is that one?
Yeah.
I seen that trailer.
It's like neon and shit.
It was maybe last year, I think, when it first came out, the trailer for it.
Aye.
And I think we were watching it.
And it's all neon and it's fucking...
Yeah, because we were like, what the fuck is this here? It looks a wee bit like this.
It's got like a grappling gun and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, mate,
this looks good, actually.
And even I was watching the story on it and I was like, this actually looks big step up. So, Bobby, why don't we Destiny and we could just jump into this. We just jump into this and do some raids, bruh. Maybe convince Kieran to do it.
Tell me that the gameplay on it's fantastic. Like so,
It's just the world I don't like, but then I looked at this and go, oh, I could get down for this world where it's city looking kind of shit and all
it
it.
does
It's like,
look really good. Yeah, I'm just remembering the trailer now because I remember watching it. I think it was some sort of showcase it was, and I was watching it. I was like, this looks fucking awesome. Then it said Destiny. I was like, oh,
yes,
right.
this is what I mean. My problem with Destiny is it's some gorgeous areas, but the worlds themselves, I was like, ugh, typical. Like this architecture's all the same and all. Change it up.
What is it?
Let's have a wee look. So, Destiny Lightfall. And I think what's good about it is you can just jump in at that DLC. You don't need to go back and play shit. So
Yeah, there was DLC. Was it this month for PS Plus?
right.
That came out for Destiny.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was something else to do with light. Or to do
I
with fall.
am not finding it. Let me check my PS Store, and in the meantime, I will sing us all a song. And so yeah, that really interested me though because it looked very cool, mate. And I was kind of like, it's enough to make me interested in trying it. Now, it's an add-on. 40 nope.
Well, there was one that came out. I'm going to check the PS Plus now.
Is that a lot dearer than they usually are for those?
I don't think so. I think they are usually quite beefy, but I think you do get a good bit of content with it.
So includes Lightfall, the new raid, and a season pass for season 20. So campaign in Neptune City under siege. Find strength in your fellow guardians as the end to all things approaches.
Sorry, Beyond Light. That was the PS monthly for February.
Oh, was
So
it?
what we could do
Give that a wee blast.
is give that a blast and get a feel for it rather than just dropping 40 quid straight away.
It's always a game, mate, that I'm like, I want to play, and it's 120 FPS in the Crucible. No. It's 60 FPS and then 120 in the Crucible. That's a game that should be.
Poo.
I know, it's a bit annoying. But it's like the raids, not, mate, that's, I don't know, like that is kind of, to me, that's your type of game. Raids and shit, that's really hard.
Yeah, but it's just getting the regular friend group to do it.
What ever put you off Destiny? Like, you played Destiny 1?
I beat Destiny Run, the story and all. I was quite fresh out there. Destiny 2, I kind of jumped in and jumped off, and I went back in. The story was gone. And I was like, what the fuck?
It's a fucking mess. Like, it is an absolute, that's what I mean. So, it's very much like WoW, where when Cataclysm came out in WoW, it erased like the first 2 expansions, I think. I'm pretty sure that happened, yeah. So, you hadn't got the original World of Warcraft. It definitely erased the first World of Warcraft in terms of the story because the world was different. So, the quests were different. The way this was, you can just jump into the latest expansion and you have a character leveled, ready to go, and then you just play that and just worry about that and just forget everything underneath. It's the story and stuff, man. I'm just Cade 6 and all that shit. I'm like, right, Guardians fuck away off the Traveler and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I like the gameplay a lot. It's fun.
I love the gameplay. Very, very good.
Don't like the enemies though. They annoy me.
I mean, the enemies are better than Halo enemies.
Yeah, but the look of the world annoys me. You know, at first, the cosmos, the Russian area at the start, it's on Earth.
Yeah.
I've played that area about a million times on both games. Hate it. But that has some like good jumping puzzles and shit, mate, on those. Have you played actually more of it? Always put your L1 to jump on though.
I've always wanted to do a raid, but I've never had I don't know whether now they allow you to search for a party. Those strikes they did, but raids they didn't. You had to have that party going into it. So I never actually got the chance to do a raid, which I would love to do.
Right, I think we should give Destiny 2 a go. I think.
So yeah, I'm down for it now. Kieran will play because he's not hard to convince to play something anyway.
Gullible cunt. So you are, Kieran.
So I actually, you know what you'll do is you'll say to him that Destiny looks good, and he'll say, "I've been looking at that."
40 quid, and then he'll buy it and don't play it. Bobby, we have problems, you know that.
We should try. We'll try that Beyond Light. I've got it anyway on the PS Plus, so
happy days.
Jump in, give it a go.
And talking about PS Plus, PlayStation Plus games announced for March 2023. PS Plus games for March have been officially announced to be Battlefield 2042, Minecraft Dungeons, and Code Vein. Available to all subscribers from March 7th to April 3rd. Bobby, the Minecraft Dungeons, I don't know why, obviously because it is Microsoft, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Like,
Ghostwire Tokyo is coming to extra as well. I didn't put that down.
Oh, is it? But it's a bit weird. It's like doing deals with Microsoft. Obviously, you're gonna.
Microsoft spreading the love.
Battlefield, I think it's a decent.
This is good to get into PS Plus.
Oh, you're gonna try it?
Probably. Yeah,
I'll try it.
It's actually not. It's meant to not be bad now. It's meant to be all right now. So I'll give it a go. It's free, so
There was no scoreboard on it originally at launch.
it was fucking brutal. Like £70 for a game that's just multiplayer shouldn't be a thing in 2022 when it came out.
Mental. So yeah, actually, I think it's a good month though. Code Vein, I've heard things about it. I haven't really played it. I think that's on extra anyway. But I think Battlefield, like I was never going to buy it.
No.
But the fact it's there, I'll actually try it now.
I was waiting on it come to Game Pass, to be honest. I thought it would have dropped into EA.
Yeah, it's actually...
I think it might have.
Probably has, and I just haven't even thought about trying it.
Yeah, I think it might have. I'm not too sure though. Minecraft Dungeons, anyone that hasn't played it, if you like Diablo, give it a go. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really underrated game. Like, it is one of Xbox's best games.
And on Diablo, Bobby, that'll be out soon as well, Diablo 4, and I've heard very positive things. I'll be getting that. Yes, 100%. So that'll be something I know Kieran will get as well, mate. So that's another good multiplayer game with raids and so on. So I thought that was quite a good show. A lot to cover there. PSVR, you've got Age of Empires, you've got fucking Suicide Squad and The Last of Us. So, Bobby, have you anything else to add, or do you forever hold your peace?
No, we said last week it was going to be a beefy one. It was beefy one.
Yeah, a beefy BBC, British Broadcasting Channel. So, yeah, hopefully next week Bobby will have some impressions on PSVR. Maybe we will be doing raids on Destiny. I will hopefully have Resident Evil beat. And I think what's good as well is having VR it's good to kind of keep you busy, but it's not my soul. Like I can play a wee bit of VR and I go, oh, I'm going to play something else.
Yeah.
Whereas you're playing Hogwarts, that's kind of your go-to. You can only do Hogwarts really. It's kind of hard to jump around.
Especially if you're kind of keeping to the whole playing one game kind of till you beat it, which I have been doing this year. So that Hogwarts is my 5th game I've beat now.
Fuck, what have I beat? I beat 5 games. Yeah.
All the Devil May Cry.
4 Devil May Cry and Dead Space. That's enough for me. But yeah, so look, thanks for listening to the podcast. If you like the show, obviously like and subscribe to wherever you're listening on it. Spotify, we're on there. Apple Podcasts. We actually have a YouTube channel where I do some videos and clips of the show. There's a few videos of me talking about PSVR that I may never do again because it takes 6 hours to make one video. Bobby, that was hell. That's all I'm saying.
I would say it would be.
So it's good to try, but I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to be making any of those anytime soon. I like doing the clips. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at ReadyUpPod, and we'll see you next week. Ciao, Roberto.
Bye-bye.